Hi, everybody. In my book, Christmas Gifts from the Hanukkah Crowd, The Extraordinary Contributions of American Jews to Christmas, I quote from another book, Stories Behind the Greatest by Ace Collins. Collins asserts, Winter Wonderland may be the only holiday song that owes its magical, upbeat lyrics to a devastating terminal disease. That disease was tuberculosis. And the magical song, Winter Wonderland, was an example of artistic cooperation between Gentile and Jew. Lyrics were written by a Gentile, Richard Dick Smith, and the music was composed by a Jewish man named Felix Bernard. Okay. Smith grew up in Honesdale, Pennsylvania, and in an article and again I'm quoting from my own book, in which I'm quoting from an article. It's one-horse open sleighs were not yet nostalgic images for calendars or Christmas cards, but were still a way people got about, especially in the countryside in those winter days. And those experiences and images of winter made their way into Winter Wonderland. And Smith contracted TB when he was a kid, but he got over it. And then as an adult, he had a reoccurrence, and he went into the West Mountain Sanatorium in Scranton, Pennsylvania. He was indoors on a winter's day at the sanitarium, and he happened to just glance out the window, and he saw children playing in the snow, happily building figures made of snow, and lightheartedly throwing snowballs at each other. I'm quoting from my own book. Inspired by the sight, Smith went to a table and wrote a poem that was romantic, slightly humorous, and filled with the joy of Christmas, even though Christmas is never actually mentioned. And again, I'm going to quote from my book, Christmas Gifts from the Hanukkah Crowd. The story told is a tad ambiguous. References to Parson Brown and getting married would indicate the narrator is a young adult. But the lines about having lots of fun with Mr. Snowman and the other kids knocking him down suggests our narrator is a child. Perhaps we are ultimately meant to think the narrator is a child with a childhood sweetheart, and they are making believe that they will wed. Or that they are adults planning to wed, but retaining enough childlikeness to play with snowmen. Okay. And snowman, I guess it's a little sexist, but people usually do make it a snowman. You could make a snow woman. Or perhaps we do not need to overthink the lines of the song, but should just enjoy its lovely and light-hearted beauty. A light-hearted beauty made poignant by the knowledge that it was written by a sick man in a sanitarium. Reference to sleigh bells ringing and snow glistening immediately transport us to winter and make winter the time of a snowy wonderland. It might be politically incorrect in today's world to talk about the Eskimo way as one of frolic and play. However, it's possible these words do not indicate that Eskimos or Inuit people frolic and play more than other people, but that since everyone enjoys frolicking and playing, we all do it the Eskimo way when the environment is akin to the all year round snowy environment of that particular ethnic group. Okay, now, when he was released from the Sanatorium, he showed the lyrics to his friend, Felix Bernard, who was a pianist, conductor, and composer. And the composer wrote music for it that went with it. And they actually got quite a few rejections before finally it was recorded by Guy Lombardo and his Royal Canadians.